Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer. In today's episode of Midlands to London, we're going to be extending the Chiltern's main line and building a bit of the central line. We might get the terminus for the central line, which is West Ruslip, in this episode, so I can build a little bit more of the central line and get that finished off. And obviously we do need to start building the Chiltern's main line as well, heading that northwards towards Birmingham. In the last episode we finished off the Bakerloo line, so we've got tube trains, London Underground trains calling into Harrow and Willesden, which is there any due? There's one just there. So for some reason, I'm not sure why I said it was C stock that was on the Bakerloo line. Obviously it's not. It's 1972 Mark II stock. So thanks to Jam and Mateo for pointing that out in the comments. I do appreciate any corrections and things like that, because I do like things to be as accurate as possible. So we've got because the Bakerloo line is a proper tube line as opposed to the other lines like the Met line, which is more of a subsurface line. So there we go, we've got the 1972 Mark II stock coming in there on the Bakerloo into Harrow and Willesden. So that's a little bit more accurate now. So I don't know if you watched the Bakerloo episode yet, but it was a bit of a build. But I think something that I'm going to do to try and combat that, I know the underground stations mod can be tricky, especially for me, but I'm trying something a little bit different. I think Grand T's done this, and that's actually paint on where the railway lines are going to go, just so we can orientate things a little bit better during the actual build itself, because it can be tricky trying to get the orientation of things right. So I'm not sure if it's cheating. I don't know if it spoils anything for you, the viewer. Let me know in the comments if it does, but I think I'm going to do this in future, unless it upsets you. Just painting on where I'm going to lay the tracks and the stations and things like that, and just little notes where things are. I know in the cab rides it might affect things, but I think what I'll do is, obviously I won't do any cab rides past anywhere where I've painted on the track, basically. So yeah, that hopefully should make things flow a little bit better during the episode, because it is quite tricky trying to build things accurately-ish and do a let's play style video at the same time. So you can see almost what we're going to be building today. No, we're not going to be building all of this. This is just, I'm trying to orientate things. So we've got like the Piccadilly line needs to intersect with that line there, the Met line, which is going to Uxbridge. I built Uxbridge off camera, I wanted to get that boxed off and finished, just because of the way things intersect. So you've got the Piccadilly line, you've got the Central line, you've got the Acton main line, all kind of interacting with each other in one way or another. So there's a lot going on which needs to be pre-planned before I start building anything. So I think without further ado, we'll bring up the UI and we'll pause the game, and we'll just get rid of all these bits of road around here, and that one as well. That's a main road connecting Slough to Harrow, but never mind. So right, we've got a little bit of a tunnel here. Actually, it's not a bridge, it's a tunnel. So yeah, I'm trying to use the standard mapping icon. So that's a tunnel icon and that's a bridge icon, normally on like OS maps and stuff like that, just so it's really familiar and easy to understand. Now that should probably be high enough for a tunnel. Only a little short tunnel, but I would like to replicate it if it does exist, so I'm going to have that there. And then this actually, yeah, so the track's going to go over that tunnel and it's going to have to come down. Possibly might have to rebuild Ruslip Station just to get a little bit higher. Yeah, I think I will. I'll rebuild that. I'm just, yeah, probably a little bit too quick on building that actually. I've built it twice already. So we'll get this tunnel in anyway. So it is tracks, high speed, no catenary because it's just diesel. And then we'll just kind of bring this round. Doesn't need to be too quick. I think the Chiltern main line, even with the upgrade, is still only 100 miles per hour railway, I think I'm right in saying. So don't need to care too much about the speed of it. Okay, that's going into a tunnel, so no, that's fine. Absolutely, I don't need to rebuild Ruslip Station. So yeah, that's nice and straightforward. The next bit is, so we've got the Acton main line here, which I don't know what it does really in terms of usage. Is it more for freight and stuff like that possibly? Because it kind of just comes into here and then just goes into a single track as it joins the Great Western Main Line. So I'm guessing it's more of a freight line than anything else. So we've got that, and then we need just to bring in this. So yeah, I would like to maintain a decent sort of speed. Where's my drawing? Because this goes off I think, yeah, I'll just have 3 tracks coming into here for now. And actually, the way, no, I've got this. The central line is on the south side. I don't know why I've done it like that. So we've got this, just want to make sure we've got this lined up nicely, just so we can have 100 miles per hour-ish curve would be nice. 85, yeah, I think I'll take 85 actually. That should be okay. And then just bring this over towards here. Right, so we've got the game paused, haven't we? Just want to delete this track. And then what we need to do is go, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just trying to get this, obviously it needs to be low enough for a bridge, so I think I'll just put my tracks in. Just want perfectly straight bits of track, and then let's just see if I can get a bridge across there, hopefully. I can, good. Yeah, yeah, I think that's fine. I think probably wouldn't be able to get it much higher, so we've got the Chiltern's line here, so let's get all this locked up to that first of all. Something a bit like that, and then we need some, so that's just going to be standard track. It doesn't need to be anything special, but that needs to go to about there. And then this wants to, yeah, how am I going to do this now? It shouldn't be particularly complicated, this build, but just, alright then, just use shift, keep that going down on the flat. And no, I don't want to be in tall, I just want to be in a cutting. Can that be a little bit higher? It looks really, really deep. Because that's definitely, right, let's try that again. So this little bit of track here wants to actually go over that one. Okie dokie, right. No, okay, holding shift again, bring this up. That's coming up as quick as it can. Right, let's try this a different tack then. Get rid of all this track here. And then bring that into there, and then press just to push that down into the ground. Let's just see, it's not, making sure it's not like a roller coaster though. No, that looks okay. Actually, I think I just want to check just where it comes into this bit of track I've already built. There is, yeah, there's a little bit of almost like a lip there, which I don't like the look of. So what we'll do is we'll just delete a little bit of the track, maybe that to there, like so, and then just rejoin that. I think that should hopefully get that little bit of a lip. There's still a little bit like a bump, but I think that's acceptable. And then this piece of track wants to come, you can't do it, so you gotta, okay, so I'll just build a little tiny bit first, and then just tab this down like so, and then bring this round. It's going into a tunnel, which we don't want, just want to be in a cutting. Don't know if I'm worried about the speed of that track. And then can I somehow get this over there? No, that's a little bit ambitious. Let's get rid of the Acton main line again then, and then just try and put this track here. Nope. Oh, there, that'll do. Oh, just maybe if we use shift again, just to the point where a bridge is no longer possible, and we'll just go with a grey girder bridge like that. What's that look like? Yeah, we've got, no, not happy with that at all. That's the only problem when you've got, like, when you start to go uphill with track. I know I could use retaining walls maybe, but it's just not nice at all, that is it. That's pretty ugly. What should I do? Maybe if I use a little bit of track along there, and then if we go try that again, just see where, oh no, a bridge can be generated there. That's good. Right, put that in, get rid of that, and then get rid of this track. Yeah, I've still got a bit of, like, no, it's not too bad actually, just where the ballast is falling away a little bit, but I think that's all right. Good. So next thing is just get this along here and connect that back up. And then what have we got going on here with the Acton main line? Yeah, it's actually the Acton and Northolt line, which is just a single line at this stage. So I think from about, let's say from about here, it goes single track into there. And then this merges in with that track there. So this, we've got South Rugeley Station, which we're not building, so we don't really need to worry about that. We'll get that into, actually, do we want to get this in a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner into the Chiltern's line? So just taking a look what that junction looks like, make sure we've got no glitching or anything going on, that's all fine. And then this line, is that gonna, no, too much slope. Let's delete all of that. And then can I just put that straight into there? I can, but what's the junction looks like? The junction looks rubbish. So I think we've come back here using shift just to get that little switch in, a little bit of a stub first of all, which is going to be like dead level. Is it? No, it's going up a little bit for some reason. Just want that to be kind of at the same sort of height as that track there. Is that all right? Is it? I can't tell with the shadow. No, it's going up. What's it doing that? No. Right, let's try that again. So, little tiny stub, pressing shift, have that down, and then zoom right in from here then, and then just take a look. Something a bit like that. Maybe can I just... No. Get that as close to that track as possible, and then chuck that into there, and then can I just connect you back up with that? Good, right. How does it look? It looks okay. Don't know what I'm going to do with this terrain here. Do I dare try and smooth it off? I don't think I should, but is it just gonna... It's not doing anything anyway. It's not even letting me flatten it. It's just got a horrible triangle going on. I think I'll just have to see what I can do about that. But for now, what we want is some more track. This time we'll go with the concrete wireless. We'll have this coming alongside, maybe to about there. And then can I just collision? Yeah, that was obviously going to happen, but I'd like to follow the curve of that track, maybe a little bit more then. Maybe to about there, and then let's see if we can just... This isn't going to work. Oh, it is. It's worked. But again, we've got that horribleness going on. So I think what I'll do is I'll put a bit of track in, and we'll do the same thing as we did previously. So we'll put that bit of track in there, and then we'll just bring the central line over. Let's just take a look what it looks like from here. Now we've got the same sort of thing going on with that as well. So what we'll do is we'll build another little bit of track there, get rid of that track, and then we'll have the central line coming from here into there. Collision. No? Why are you colliding? Oh yeah, because we've got that. Needs to be just at the apex of the curve, I think, or just after the apex of the curve, and then we can get that into there. Making sure we're using the wireless tracks. Now technically I don't think I need to use the wireless tracks because all of the London Underground trains seem to be diesel powered. Obviously not in real life, but they're marked as diesel traction. I think it's just to make life a bit easier, especially with not having... Well, we've got a third rail mod, but it can be tricky to use sometimes if you're not that good like me. So get that into there, and then this just wants to run alongside. So yeah, I'm not sure if all of the London Underground trains are marked as diesel, but certainly the subsurface ones are. But obviously the central line is a proper tube line. We'll take a look. I'm not sure, actually I didn't research what trains would be operating on it, but never mind. We will just continue using the third rail, well, the concrete wireless tracks, which is electrified, which hasn't got catenary on it, so I need to fix that as well, don't I? So we'll just get this bridge in first of all before we do anything else. And I know that's on a curve, isn't it? How does it look actually? I know these don't like curves, but I think that's actually... No, it has separated a little bit there, hasn't it? Right, let's just get rid of those bits of track. I think what I'll do is I'll just try and build as shallower as a curve as possible. Yeah, these do have to be kind of almost dead straight, but I think we can get away with that. And then we're just going to have to rebuild this track, get rid of that depot anyway. And then just that, no, that's too slow. 43. I know the actual trains themselves won't be going that fast, but I think 43 is a little bit slow. Something a bit like that. Yeah, the junction is alright, I guess. But what we do need to do is, that's how low can we go with this before we start to see the top of the tunnel. Something, I think that's as low as we can go with that tunnel, because this has to go... I know that's fine as well because that's going over, but it does have to go onto the Great Western Main Line, so that's going to be a tricky bit. So it's got to go over that tunnel, over that Acton Northolt line and the central, and then it's got to go under the Great Western Main Line. So that could be fun. Right, next thing is a station. So I think... No, what am I doing? Actually, no, just want to upgrade this track to with catenary, because even though it's wireless, you still have to select catenary, otherwise it won't be electrified. So I know it doesn't matter because the trains on this line are diesel, but I'll just make sure all of this is electrified anyway, just in case we need any trains in the future or anything like that, or any of the trains need to be actually electrically powered, so we'll make sure that is switched on. Next thing is West Rugeley, so let's flatten some terrain off. Nope, don't flatten terrain off because that's going to create water. Right, this could be entertaining, couldn't it? Right, so let's get the train building in. And I think something I finally figured out with the wireless tracks, well, the wireless segments do not like the NL station, the NL stations for some reason. I'm almost certain that I've used an NL station with wireless tracks somewhere. Yeah, that's an NL station with wireless tracks, but it just doesn't seem to work. So I'm going to go, I think I'll go with the King's Cross Old, and we'll just put in one track for now, but what we'll do is we'll connect that up to there. Should we? Yes, we should. And then get rid of the tracks that we've built. At least we know, we can get that bridge under there and stuff like that, so we don't need to worry about it too much. And then what we'll do is configure this, and then we want some tracks. So yeah, hopefully this is right. Concrete wireless works with the King's Cross modules. So we'll chuck those in to there. Is that right? No, I don't think it is. Is it? No. Right, get rid of those tracks then. Or can we get that into there? Phew, this is going to be tight. I think what I'll do is we'll go to King's Cross, just use the old platforms. We'll have a platform down there, get rid of this track. It should make sense in a minute. I'm just a bit worried about getting this station in so close, trying to get these tracks connected up. So we want a track like that, do we? Using the wireless electrified, good, yeah. And then we want another platform, I think. Maybe I'm just worried about the train, because I know, what's the central line train going to be? I think I should have a quick look, shouldn't I? So the central line is going to be 1992 stock, is it? So let's just exit that a minute. I'm just worried about the length of the stations, because with the Bakerloo, because I assumed it was like A or C stock or something, they're quite short units if you just use them on their own as 4-car, but obviously the 1972 stock is 120 metres long, so I had a little bit of an issue with embankment because I'd only built that 100 metres long, and obviously the trains were overhanging and were a little bit too long to actually get onto the switch to turn on the opposite track. So just want to make sure that we build a long enough station for 1992 stock. So we'll put a depot in there, build a vehicle, and what are you? You are 1996. Do we have 1992 stock? Let's have a look. 1972, 1992 stock. And you are, let's add one. Why have we got two? So you're 135 metres long, so it's a good thing I checked, wasn't it? So we'll configure this, and then we'll go add another one on there. And I just want to double check the actual station itself. It just doesn't feel right. Okay, so there is some separate, I think I'm going to have to put another platform in. Yeah, because there's like a central platform for almost like, well, it's not like an island platform, it's almost like a terminus bay platform, and then we've got another platform for the Chiltern's main line. So let's just see if we can do this and get the tracks connected up. So I think we can just use standard, chuck a couple of those in, and then I'll just want to make sure I can get these tracks actually connected up, which is like the important thing, but also not just getting them hooked up, is actually getting them hooked up in such a way that they're not ridiculously slow. So I can get rid of this and then try and slew those tracks over to those without this being too slow. 90, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'm just thinking because at this point this is like the Chiltern's, no catenary, Chiltern's main line, isn't it? So it's going to have Chiltern's main line services on it, which are obviously not going to stop at West Rugeley, are they? So just want to make sure I maintain the speed of that, so that's fine. And then just get this junction in, making sure it's not ugly. No, it looks all right, I think that's acceptable. Put a switch in. I don't think this is going to get used for anything during the game, but we'll put it in anyway. And then can I just replace that? No, I want to put the central lines in first, don't I? So wireless, yes, we do want catenary this time. And then we need some sort of, we're going to need some sort of switch, aren't we? Diamond crossing or something. I haven't actually, there's got to be something, but I haven't actually drawn it. Let's just take another look. In this particular case, it's just two switches. which I like that, rather than a diamond crossing in this particular instance, and then we'll just replace that. Hopefully that should be fine, which it is. Making sure we've got enough space for like a wall or a retaining wall or something without fouling the track. I think we might just be able to get, let's double check, assets, retaining wall, 2, don't want to be doing 2 and no walls, and we can just chuck that in to there, and then we'll just put that one in there, just so we know we can put these retaining walls in without fouling the track, which is important. And then back to the track itself, so we want, no, back to the station configuration, configure, back to the King's Cross modules. So yeah, there will be some Chiltern services stopping here, so this is a nice little interchange actually, and then we just want to put those tracks in that we, just to make sure this is long enough. So let's just double check the length of this now. Building, it doesn't really matter actually, but this is, that's 120, so that should be about 140. So that should be more than long enough for the trains. I know it's not completely accurate. We do have like ballast triangles, ballast pyramids there, but not to worry. That's the only problem with, I should have maybe raised the terrain up a little bit to make things a little bit better, but not to worry. Next thing we need to do is just get some tracks. So just standard, no catenary, and you can just go off. Maybe keep you down for a little bit. Something a little bit like that, and then is there a way to connect this? Don't think there is. Extended overpass possibly might be. All I'm thinking is this. Oh, if I put, no, it's going to come. Damn. So we've got to continue with the King's Cross modules, I guess. So we'll just use the old across there like so, and then we'll just put in some little bits, ticket machines, and some benches. Actually not so much on the Chilterns line actually, just looks a bit, doesn't look like there's much at all. I think there's a little waiting shelter. Do we have a waiting shelter? Yes we do. And then we do actually have some steps on the other side as well, at the other end of the station rather. And then what we need to do is we need to go to platforms, invisible platform, and then King's Cross, just to put in a connection to this side. Does this work with these? Let's just double check. Yes it does, but we're going to be using old. Good, so there is actually a building on this side. There is a road and then a building, and then obviously that goes down. So then obviously we just need to put a little bit of a roof on this side. Nothing particularly fancy, I think that will do the job, but what we need is a building. Now I'm looking at the building, well, as far as I can tell from looking at Google Maps, it looks to me more like it's an Art Deco style building than an actual more modern building, but we don't have Art Deco style, I don't think. I think the closest we've got is something like that. That's not even anywhere near close Art Deco, is it? So we won't have that. We think we'll just have one of these flat roof buildings, or a couple of these, and then the same like on this side as well, just a couple of flat roofed buildings. And yeah, now the only tricky bit is getting a road. Do we need a road? Is that close enough? And obviously we do have to have a road, but I was hoping to get all of these linked up by a bus, but I think that should be walkable, shouldn't it? Although there's too much slope. Yeah, it probably would be walkable if we could get it up in one simple bit. I think what I'll do, right, we'll do a little bit of a road, bear with me, to there, keep you on the flat, and then we'll have a road that just kind of links up here. I know we've got all kinds of ugliness going on with the terrain, unfortunately. Not a lot we can do about that. And then we go to street construction, is it? Or is it... Yeah, I always forget where these things are, these steps, but they're in assets. Is that... Can I make this height 12? Have some steps. I know it's quite ugly. I'll see what I can do with regards to making it look a little bit more attractive. Wish these upper terrain sized. No, I don't need to worry about that. The only thing is grass remove off, terrain off, terrain on then. Would be nice if you could make these steps a little bit wider. That's like glitched into the terrain there. Looks rubbish. Let's try that again. Assets. Upper terrain size plus. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of a +5. No, yeah, we're still getting it glitched into the terrain, aren't we? Which is not ideal. Oh, that's really frustrating. Just want some steps. Oh, maybe, oh, is that going to work? Yeah, not fantastic, but it's just a way for passengers to get from Rugeley to West Rugeley, and obviously the little shuttle bus we've got going to Moor Park as well, just to get that connected up, just so passengers actually come to these sort of stations, because I'm not going to be building West Rugeley, I don't think, at this stage, so we've got that in there anyway. All looks a bit ugly, I know, but obviously I'll fix that off camera. Or maybe I'll do a time lapse, because I don't think we're going to have a cab ride, so I think what I'll do at the end of this episode is I might do a little bit of a time lapse of just trying to get this fixed then maybe, and making that, trying some way to make that look a little bit more attractive. And I think I'll get a little road going to Uxbridge as well, which connects to Slough Station. I just like things like the stations, if they're close together like this, to be linked up, because you just get good like interchange and you get passengers actually using your stations. If they're not serving a town, then you still get people waiting at those stations, just to bring a little bit of life to those stations themselves. So I think I'll leave it there for today, but I will leave you with a time lapse of me trying to make this look a little bit more attractive. But I think we've got plenty done anyway. Hopefully my new system's worked a little bit better, but I'm going to leave it there for today. Say until next time, bye bye.